Hello friends, welcome to SalesforceCRMAnalytics video session 106. So basically in today's video, we will actually learn the concept behind whatever we did earlier with the flatten node. We will understand how were able to ultimately fetch, the ultimate parent of a child account, and that logic is very important to understand because based on that logic, you can utilize or apply the flatten node in for various other use case scenarios. Okay, so uh, I'm going to my Analytics Studio. I'm opening that particular lens which we created last time. As you can see, this was the lens. And let me also open that particular data flow. And also let me open my plus plus. Now, as you have seen, like for example, let me open the account as well. The So this was the hierarchy which we were maintaining. And as you can see here, in this particular lens, let me pull this lens over here. When we were doing this flattened node, we have this system fields called multi-field and path field. Okay. So now if you see over here, so where I have that system fields. Okay. The system field name I gave as account hierarchy and ultimate parent. So this is my account hierarchy. This is my ultimate parent, which is the fourth and fifth field, right? Account hierarchy and the ultimate parent. Now, if you see here, basically for this ultimate parent, okay, this is the whole ID which got appended one by one. Fine. So that's what I wanted to tell you. And this is applicable when we are including this self ID. Okay. So now what I will do is basically this account path field which I have, I will just make a note over here. Okay. The path field. So if you see the path field which I have is this one. Okay. Yeah. So this is the one. Okay. Now, if you see here, what are these IDs? Okay. So if we check one by one, fine. So what I will do is maybe I will duplicate this tab and I will just paste that ID over here. Okay. So as you can see, the first ID which I'm getting is the daughter ID, right? So this is how the format is going. At first, we have the daughter ID slash. Okay. So first we have this daughter ID, and after that, if I open this one, then first we have the parent ID, and afterwards, let me open this ID as well. We have the grandparent ID. And at last, of course, I think you must be knowing it. This will be the great grandparent ID. But yeah, let's cross check. Not an issue. So this is my great grandparent ID. Okay. right? So this is how the format is going, as you have seen over here. Now, this is what this flattened node is helping me in. So basically we have this path field which is creating that path. So it starts from the self ID, because when you include the self ID, that's where it starts with a dot ID. If you disable that button, then definitely it won't start. It will start with the parent ID and not the daughter ID. So when you are mentioning this include self ID, it starts with that ID. After that, it puts a slash and it puts the parent ID, and after that slash, and this is how it continues. So this parent ID becomes the ID, and after that, whatever is the parent ID of that particular ID, it will take that into consideration. That's the whole purpose of that flattened node, where with the ID and self parent ID, it takes into consideration how this process continues till the very end. Okay, so it will take ID, it will take parent ID, and then for this parent ID, whatever is the parent field, it will take that particular thing. So that's how it continues, and this is how this get appended. So we have this ID slash and other things get appended in this particular thing of path field. Okay, so that's what we have seen in the lens as well. Okay, that's what we have observed here. Now the next part is how we will get this parent ID. So here, when I'm calculating the parent ID, now let's observe this expression. Okay, so let me copy this whole expression for parent ID. So for parent ID, I have this particular expression. Okay, so firstly, let's understand the meaning of substring. Okay, so substring basically, I think we learned in our earlier videos when we were learning how to calculate derived fields. I mean, we went through a few expressions. So substring is like it takes a part of the particular string, right? That's what we know. That's the whole purpose of this substring function, sub-str. Now, here we are taking the ultimate parent, right? As you can see. Now, what is that ultimate parent? That ultimate parent, okay, so here this path field is nothing actually but the ultimate parent itself, okay? Now, when we are taking the substring of this ultimate parent, right? So this ultimate parent is this whole thing, if you see, isn't it? So this is the whole thing of this ultimate parent. Now, uh, so what is this ultimate parent? This ultimate parent is the whole thing. Copy this whole thing first. Now over here, we are mentioning that it has to be length of, okay. So let's go one by one. So this is my ultimate parent. So let me just write it over here as ultimate parent. Now we go to the next step, which is length of ultimate parent minus 17. Okay. So here I'm going for the next step of length of ultimate parent minus 17. So when I go for this length of ultimate parent minus 17, now what is the length? Okay. So we already know that, Salesforce has 18 digits, right? So we know it's already 18 digits Salesforce ID. Now, if you multiply 18 into 4, that is how much? So it's like 72. Now we have this additional slash over here, that is 73, 74, 75. So basically the length of ultimate parent is 75. As I told you, 18 into 4, which is like 72. And then, you have these slashes over here, right? So 73, you have one more slash, 74. And finally, we have this called as 75. Okay. Now, with the length of ultimate parent, we got this total length. Okay. That is fine. Now it is saying minus 17, isn't it? So now if we go for minus 17 over here, so minus 17, it is like 75 minus 17, isn't it? So what is 75 minus 17? Of course, so 75 minus 20 is like 55. This is 58, isn't it? So it is 58. So it's the 58. So that's what it is saying. From ultimate parent, we are going to take the 58th position, and from 58, we will take the next 18th position. Okay, so that's how it is. So now if I actually, for this example, what I will be doing is, for our example, this is how it's being calculated. So it is like, if you have this length of ultimate minus 17 in our example, if we take the above example, it is 58 and 18. Okay, so it's 58 and 18. So when we say 58, so up till here it is 18, right? Up till here it is 18, and up till here it is 18 to the 16, it is like 36, 37, because we have that slash. And now when my cursor comes over here, it is 38. Okay, so let me just highlight this. So we already understand that up till here it is 18. Okay, now the next 18 is 36, and including this slash it will be 37, right? So 37, and finally when I include this slash it is 38. Now 38 plus 18, it will be like 8, 36, 38, yeah, 38, 50, 56. Okay, so up till here it will be 56. Okay, 56, and when we include this slash it is 57. Okay, now from here, from that particular position where our 58 is going to start, from there is going to extract. And how much digits will extract? It will extract this next 18 digit, as you can see here. Okay, so it's 18 into 18, 18 plus 18 plus 18, which is like 54, 55, 56, 57. So up to here, the 57th 8. Now 58 means from that 58th position it has to start. Okay, we cannot input that 0, it will become 58. From that 58th position it is going to start, and it's going to take the next 18 digits. Okay, that's what it means. Fine. So that means it's going to take the last digit. Okay, that's how it will continue. Fine. Now we can have many more IDs. That's completely fine. For example, it doesn't need a great grandparent ID. We can have many more IDs after that. But basically now what it's doing is here, if you see, it's actually pinging this last ID. It's taking into consideration the last ID, right? That's what it's equal to. And this one we already understood. It's nothing but the great parent ID, right? This is the great parent ID, and that's how we got the ultimate parent ID. Now, the next thing is that here, what I did is after this one, I just calculated the augment. This is just to ensure, we can bring the ultimate parent name. Of course, through the flattened node, we have fetched the ultimate parent ID, no issues. If somebody wants to see that ID only, then of course it ends over here. There's nothing to do. We can just, register just after this expression. But just to ensure I get that ultimate parent name over here, okay, which you see this over here, ultimate parent name. What we did is basically here we augmented. Okay, we took that ultimate parent ID and we are just augmenting with the ID of the account. So the reason on this ultimate parent ID is just popping up with ID so that I can fetch the name, nothing else. Okay, I just wanted the name, and that's it. I could have avoided the other two, that was not needed anyhow. So that particular part we could have skipped. I can skip it right now itself. Okay, so these things I don't need actually. Fine. And that's the whole thing by which I got that particular ultimate parent name. So that's the whole concept about this. I hope you understood. So here we have the account. Okay, we flatten it. If we include this self ID, basically what will happen is this daughter ID will get appended as as the first step. But if we don't include that, then it will start from the parent ID. And no matter how the progression goes, this formula, okay, this formula which you have, that is ultimate parent comma length minus 17. What it will does is basically when you put this length of ultimate parent minus 17, it will always land up before the last digit. Okay, so it's going to fetch on, that cursor will always land up just before that 18-digit character. That's how this whole formula is allowed. No matter how you get appended, when you apply that formula of length of ultimate parent minus 17, that cursor will always point out to that last digit. So from wherever you have that last slash, after that last slash, so no matter even if we have other IDs over it will point it out in that last ID slash after that last slash, and it will take away all that last ID which is there. So this is how this whole thing goes up. Okay, goes on, and finally by augmenting we get the ultimate way. So that is how this is being done. I hope you understood the complete logic behind this ultimate parent expression, how with this ultimate parent calculation we are calculating this ultimate parent ID. So that's very important to understand, because going forward there are other use cases where we have to apply this scenario. And yeah, that's it about this video. Let's meet very soon in our next one. Thank you.